Bear with me for a second and join me in this thought experiment. If your car broke down or your job vanished next week, could you realistically cover the cost or daily monthly expenses that you have? Without freaking out, that is. If it's a yes, good job, great, you're doing everything correct. However, if it's a no, don't worry. In this video, we're gonna talk all about the plans and strategies that you can do to solve that problem. Roll the title card. Now, I hate that I have to splash you with the proverbial cold water so early in the video, but this is the cold, hard truth of the matter. Nearly 4 out of 10 Americans have claimed that they would not be able to cover a $400 emergency expense without having to borrow or sell something that they own. And that's according to a federal study done in 2024 on household finances. But stay with me for a sec. I'm not trying to fearmonger in this video. Rather, I'm trying to equip you with the knowledge to be able to avoid that reality for yourself. Because like the old adage says, knowledge is power. Because having an emergency fund, it's not really about the money. Rather, it's all about freedom. The freedom to have the peace of mind to be able to handle all of life's curveballs without any panic. So in this video, we're breaking down everything emergency funds, discussing topics like what an emergency fund really is, how much do you generally need, where to stash it safely, and how credit unions like Tropical Financial make saving automatic and doable for people. Let's make this the final year that you're unprepared for the unexpected. Let's start from the top and talk about what even is an emergency fund and why does it even matter? Like the name suggests, an emergency fund is money that you set aside for true emergencies. Now, the word emergency varies on person to person, obviously, but generally speaking, emergencies can vary from things like an emergency pet surgery, maybe you got laid off, emergency medical work, or maybe your car just broke down. Imagine having a cushion for when one of those surprises falls on your lap. You don't need to panic. You don't need to go into debt. You're just able to handle it. Here's a story/statistic that I learned while doing research for this video, that back in 2023, the average unexpected cost for a car repair was about $500 to $600. For many Americans, they just didn't have that cash on hand. So they put it on their credit cards, which then began a months-long spiral having to pay it off. And this is why many financial experts say that having an emergency fund isn't optional. Rather, it's for your own safety, and which is why it should be considered and looked at as your financial seatbelt. Now that we know that having an emergency fund isn't optional, that just begs the question, how much do you really need? You've probably been given the classic advice of save, insert arbitrary number here. But I'm here to tell you that that's just a starting line. The real goal, and the answer to the aforementioned question, is to have enough funds saved to cover 3 to 6 months worth of basic expenses. And those basic expenses can be like rent, groceries, insurance, things like that. In fact, according to a 2025 study done by Bankrate regarding emergency savings, only 44% of Americans could cover a $1,000 emergency with savings. So if you're starting from scratch, you're really not alone. But let's not get overwhelmed on how much that would be to cover 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. Let's change that mindset to start right now. And the best way to start right now is to set up some milestones. And they can be any number that you want. But as an example, you can have your first milestone be $100, then $200, $500, $1,000, and then 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. You can honestly think of this milestone strategy as leveling up in a video game. The more milestones you hit, the greater the confidence and protection you'll have. So keep on collecting those coins. Now, we've talked about how much money you need. We've also talked about how much money you should allocate. Now we're gonna talk about where should you keep it? Where should you keep your money? I'm not sure why, but this clip lives rent-free in my head whenever it comes to saving money not necessarily underneath your mattress. It's actually from a very famous TV show, The George Lopez Show, seen at Nick at Night. Let's take a look.
Insurance is for suckers.
Mom, you don't have any insurance?
George, I got tired of throwing away $100 a month for nothing, so I decided to save it.
Then you must have a pretty good stash in the bank.
Banks are for suckers. They charge you all those fees, you know. You might as well keep your money in your mattress.
Mom, please say that mattresses are for suckers.
Yep, they sure are.
You may not believe me when I say this, but don't keep your money under your mattress. Don't put it into crypto. Don't put it into stocks, and definitely do not leave your money in your checking account. The amount of return you're getting in that checking account is very negligible, and you can do a lot better knowing the following tips. You're gonna need to look for an account that follows these 3 guidelines. Those being an account that's safe, meaning that it's FDIC or NCUA insured, liquid, meaning easy to access in emergencies, and the final but most important point, that it's earning some interest. That's why most experts recommend you putting your money into a high interest, high return, high yield checking account or high yield savings account or a money market account. These types of accounts strike the perfect balance of both safety and growth. So let's say you're out there on the big old World Wide Web. You're out there on Google, ChatGPT. You're trying to find accounts that satisfy your growth needs, but also your personalization needs as well. Some of those big banks are probably going to have some variation of what we've talked about today, maybe to the T, maybe not. But what I would ask you to do is to check out credit unions. Here's a fun fact that you may not have known about credit unions. Did you know credit unions are not for profit? Meaning any sort of profit or gain that they stand to, gain, gets reinvested back into their membership, meaning lower fees, higher and better rates, and better personalization tools. Most credit unions will follow all of the benefits that I mentioned, but let me talk to you about Tropical Financial. At Tropical Financial, members get automatic savings tools built into online banking, access to free budget coaching, and personalized goal tracking so you stay motivated. It's banking that works for you, not shareholders. I've talked to you now about all of the benefits you stand to gain when you have an emergency fund. However, I know there's a little bit of unlearning that has to be done before you can fully invest into doing the necessary steps. And what do I mean by that? What I'm talking about is that all too common thought process, or the phrase really, that I'll start saving when I make more. Because that mindset is everywhere. I see it occasionally on my phone when I'm scrolling. But I'm here to tell you that that mindset is dangerous, because life doesn't wait until you're ready. Life will throw emergencies at you so fast that your head will spin. That's why starting now with any amount is so powerful. It's the right way to do things, because it's not about the amount, at least not entirely. It's about being prepared. And if you don't believe me, let's run through a scenario. I'll show you some numbers real quick. So running the numbers, save $10 a week equals to $520 a year. Add your tax refund, which could vary between $200 to $1,000 boost, or if you cut one subscription, which is about $15 a month, again, if applicable. Combine all of these small moves and you've got your first $1,000 emergency fund in less than a year, without a raise or a side hustle. And honestly, this is how real people do it. Slowly, steadily, intentionally. So the next time something happens to you, you won't panic. You'll log on to your account, you'll see your emergency fund, and probably think to yourself, I've got this. Let's recap everything emergency funds that we talked about today. And those steps being, emergency funds are for real life emergencies, not maybe someday stuff. Your target is 3 to 6 months of expenses, but you can start with any number that you feel comfortable with. $500, $1,000, again, it's up to you. Use a high yield account, not your regular checking account. You're leaving money on the table. And credit unions like Tropical Financial give you the tools and support to make it stick. And once again, your future self will thank you, your stress levels will thank you, and most importantly of all, your wallet will definitely thank you. And that's the show that we got for you today. If you learned something new in today's video, emergency fund related or not, write it in the comments below. Otherwise, we have a lot of financial videos that might help you along in your financial journey. If you have any ideas of what kind of videos you want to see next, again, leave it in the comments below. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Take care.